Now in this video we'll study about Ohm's law, which is one of the most important laws when it comes to current electricity, and we have already studied a little bit about this law in the junior classes. We studied that the Ohm's law, this law relates potential difference across a conductor with current flowing through the conductor. And this relation that Ohm's law uses to relate potential difference and current is the relation V is directly proportional to I, where V is the potential difference and I is the current. Now to remove this proportionality, we use a constant R, where R we can write is a constant. It is a proportionality constant. Now we already know that R is resistance, but we will define resistance further. So for now, let us say that R is some proportionality constant. Later on in the video, we will define the properties of R. Now, this is what we have studied in earlier classes. Now let us say that if in any conductor the current density J, current density J will be given by NeVd, where N is the number of electrons, E is the charge on each electron, and Vd is the drift velocity, the average drift velocity of the electrons. Now we already studied that drift velocity equals to mobility into E, so we will use that here. We studied this relation Vd equals to mu E, where mu was the mobility of electrons. So our current density will become Ne mu E. Now, number of electrons for a given conductor, the concentration of electron is constant. The charge on each electron is always constant, and mobility for a given conductor is also a constant. So Ne mu together can be put together to form another constant. Let us say this constant is sigma. So this will be our relation. We will define sigma, where sigma is which is equal to Ne mu. It is a constant and it is called conductivity. So it is the conductivity of any material. That means conductivity means that how well a conductor allows the electron to flow through it, or allow the current to flow through it. The better the flow of current, more is the conductivity. Now the reciprocal of this conductivity is called resistivity. So as the name suggests, if the conductivity is the property of any conductor to allow to conduct the electrons, then resistivity of the property of any conductor to stop the electrons. Now there is always a bargain between conductivity and resistivity. For those conductors which have good conductivity and bad resistivity, they are called good conductors like copper or silver. And those materials which have more resistivity than conductivity, they are called bad conductors. So conductivity and resistivity are opposite to each other. We'll define resistivity with the symbol rho. So sigma equals to 1 upon rho. Conductivity equals to 1 upon resistivity. So current density, now we can write the entire formula equals to E upon rho. In vector form, this will be the relation. Now this form is called differential vector form of Ohm's law. So it is nothing but a form of Ohm's law, and it is called differential vector form. Now moving ahead, let us say that we have a conductor. Let us say for a conductor of length L and area of cross section A, the electric field E will be given by dV by dl. This we have already studied. And current density J will be given by I upon A. So these two formula we have already studied in previous videos. Now using them, J equals to I upon A. So you can write here using this formula. So J will be written as I upon A equals to sigma into dV by dl, or dV equals to I upon sigma A dl. Now if we integrate both sides, then we will find that I equals to V equals to L sigma upon A into I. Now using this relation, we can write V equals to rho L by A into I. Now if you recall from junior classes, we studied a formula that R equals to rho L by A. Now if we compare this form with this form, then we get this expression that R equals to rho L by A, where rho is the resistivity, L is the length of the conductor, and A is the area of conductor. So this is how we arrive to this proportionality constant. Now instead of calling it a proportionality constant, we can call it resistance of a given conductor. Now it depends, that this resistance depends, as the formula suggests, it depends on the length of the conductor. If we change the length, the resistance will change. It depends on the area of cross section of conductor. So if the conductor is thick or less or thin, then resistance will change. And it also depends on the resistivity of the conductor. So the resistivity, we can write here, resistivity depends upon nature of material of conductor. So we'll continue this topic on the next page. Now from the first important thing about this formula, this R equals to rho L upon a very important thing is that in this formula it seems that rho or resistivity depends upon R, L and A. If we rearrange this formula, then we can write resistivity equals to RA upon L. So it seems that rho depends upon area of cross section and the length of the conductor also. But in reality it is not so. Resistivity has nothing to do with area of cross section and the length. Resistivity depends solely on the nature of the conductor, nature of the material of the conductor. So if conductor is changed, if material of conductor is changed, only then the resistivity will change. So if we take a conductor of length 2 meter and if we divide it into two equal parts of 1 meter each, that will change the resistance, but it will not change the resistivity of the conductor. Resistivity will change only if the material of the conductor is changed. So if we use, instead of copper wire, if we use aluminium wire, then the resistivity will change. Another important thing about resistivity is, apart from the material of conductor, it also changes with the change in temperature. So it is rho also changes with change in temperature of conductor. Now we must have observed that whenever a current is passed through a wire, the wire gets a little bit hot. It becomes hotter. That means the temperature of the conductor is rising. Because of this temperature, the resistivity can also change. Now in this formula, there is no term of the temperature because the relation between temperature and resistivity is not very direct. So how does temperature of a conductor affects resistivity? We can study it quickly here. rho equals to E upon J, as we have studied the previous page. And if we substitute the value of J here, then it will be n E square tau E divided by M. So it will be M n E square tau. Now this means that resistivity depends upon the average relaxation time. They are inversely proportional. Now as the temperature is increased, if the temperature is increased, then the electrons get more agitated. The electrons that are traveling in the conductor become more agitated, and the number of collisions increase. As the electrons are moving a lot, the number of collisions will also increase. So if the number of collisions are increasing, that means between any two successive collisions, the relaxation time will decrease. Since the collision are now happening faster, that means the tau will decrease. And as the tau decreases, the resistivity will increase. So we can say that if the temperature increases, if the temperature of the conductor increases, the resistivity will also increase. And since resistivity is directly proportional to R, so if resistivity is increasing, the resistance of the conductor will also increase. That means if the conductor is getting hotter, there will be more resistance, the value of the resistance will change. Now we also have a formula for this. This can be another important point. Now for small ranges of temperature, now this formula is applicable only if that range of temperature is small. So for small ranges of temperature above room temperature, this is the area where this formula works perfectly. So for small ranges of temperature above room temperature, we have a relation rho equals to rho naught 1 plus alpha T, where rho naught is the resistivity of a given conductor at 0 degree Celsius. Rho is the resistivity at temperature T, which is written here, and alpha is called coefficient of resistance. So on the lines of this formula, we can relate resistances also. So R will become equal to R naught 1 plus alpha T, where R naught is the resistance at 0 degree Celsius, R is the resistance at temperature T, and alpha is again the coefficient of resistance. So if we write it if instead of 0 degree Celsius, suppose we have two temperatures. If we have temperatures T1 and T2, where T2 is a higher temperature, then this relation can also be written as RT2 equals to RT1 1 plus alpha delta T, where delta T is equal to difference between the temperatures. So this is a very important topic. So you understand each and everything. There are a lot of things that we talked about here. We related everything and we finally found the true relation of Ohm's law. So make sure that you understand each and every step and how we proceeded in this concept.